Check my sound. Yep. Hey, Ardent. How you doing? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream where we do it live. Oh, boy. Yeah, there's some tweets going around about Margaret Sanger. I'm going to have to look at that one later. um, Margaret Sanger, apparently not a good person. Shocker. I know. Yeah. Welcome to the live stream. We got about 2 minutes for some pre-game. And as I always like to do, I like to talk about my weekend and my week. So I had quite a week because this was vacation time for me. Not on purpose. I like to work. But I just couldn't get enough events at the end of August for some reason. And then into Labor Day, forget it. So things are kicking up again after today. But I went to, if you haven't seen my video, I went to Bally's because I won a radio contest for a free overnight stay and a $300 food and beverage thing. So, yeah, I know. It was pretty cool, Joe. But Bally's was not as cool as I thought they'd be. They were kind of cool the first night. Arden is here. Hello. Guess who's single again? Oh my God, no. Seriously? Are you messing with me? You and Stormy are quits? Indie Phantom, more zany box office. I know. We'll get to that. But first, Ardent, and you have two different logos. You have two different logos for your... Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Ardent. I really am. Jeez. Well, that's rough. Ended bad. Oh, man. That's rough, dude. I feel you. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's tough out there. Indie Phantom. Heard Bally's in Vegas is now Horseshoe and supposedly an improvement. Sounds like they remodeled. Ardent, don't want to talk about it. Using Leprechaun for now. Rebrand incoming. Okay. I mean, if you want to date a leprechaun, that's your business. Indie Phantom. Maybe Jersey Bally's is going that way in AC. I wouldn't be surprised. What I heard was they were originally owned by Caesars. Ardent. Lomax Designs made the Leprechaun. Okay. Well, if you're happy with the Leprechaun. Yeah, so Caesars, I heard, owned Bally's. And then recently it was sold off. So they may be going through a similar transition, which is why everybody who works there is sort of checked out, because they might feel like their job's on the line. Ardent, LOL, I would date a leprechaun. Pass. Short girls are awesome. Lass. Leprechaun lass. Short girls are awesome. Yeah, you'll just get back out there. You'll find someone. Hey, look, I was single for this time around. Gosh. I was single up until about, well, pretty much this year, I'll say. So I was single for good 5-7 years. Just don't go into a dark place. Stay off the naughty dating apps would be my advice. You know, when you're ready, go on the regular dating apps. Just, get back out there. Yeah, so Caesars, Indie Phantom, short girls are sexy. I don't know. I like them all, but I know that. Jeez, you really got to shut up. Okay, you got to shut up, little dog. Here, go to sleep. Go to sleep. Hopefully, she's like a parrot and goes to sleep. Arnett, I'm not too old to bounce back. Oh, of course not. If I'm not too old, you are definitely not too old. Short girls for me, I mean, if you're hot, you're hot. That's my motto. But like in terms of the little physicality, I kind of want a girl like my size because I'm a big guy, and if they're too small, it's kind of like I gotta watch, what I'm doing in certain things. You know what I'm saying? It's like too small, I could crush you. I don't want to do that. But I know that the ladies, they like a guy who's a good 6 inches taller or so, depending. Ardent, New York accent. Joan, hey, oh, I'm working here. I guess she just wanted her blanket on. She's been very demanding of late. Very demanding. I didn't take her for a WALK yesterday, in her defense, but I was very tired. It was raining. It was late. I said, nah. We had a thing yesterday for my brother's birthday, and he likes crabs and spaghetti, so we had that. JEC is here. Hi, hi, hi. Oh, I was gonna explain crabs and spaghetti. So for those of you who have never had crabs and spaghetti, so basically you make crabs, and that's a lot of work. Ardent, hello, hello, hello. You have to clean the crab of all its guts and the top shell, and sort of hose it out, and then you put it in a boiling pot of water. So it's not like a lobster that you boil alive. Ardent, crabs and spaghetti, yes. So then you'll cook the crabs, usually in like a oven situation, but there'll be a lot of butter and garlic and bay seasoning, if you like that. Put that all in there, cook them up, and then now if the crabs and spaghetti part, this is for the people who like red sauce on their crabs, and my brother loves that. So you make like spaghetti with a red sauce, but you use some crab meat as the meat for the sauce, right? So it's a red seafood kind of sauce. Maybe you might put in clams if you have it, or maybe a little clam juice to fish it up a little bit, but usually don't have to. Ardent, oh, roast crab, sounds interesting. Yeah, and then you cook the crabs in the sauce maybe, and then you take them out, and you have the spaghetti with the crab red sauce, and then you have the crabs with it, either the red crabs, or you have the crabs that weren't in the sauce. I'm not a big crab guy. Like, I had one claw. That's how little. It was good. I didn't want crab, because it turned out my family had ordered pizza down the shore, and they had a bunch left over, and I was like, oh man, shore pizza, sign me up. Indie Phantom, getting hungry again. Ardent, IK, RL. I'm not sure what those letters stand for. R? Really? I guess R is really? Ardent, wanting lobster claws now. Yeah, and I think they're different from lobster in that, like, lobster doesn't really have much of a taste until you drop it in the butter, right? Whereas the crabs, you kind of cook it in butter or oil and garlic and stuff. I know, right? Oh, okay. And then it's good. It's good. Like, crab absorbs the flavor, I think, more than the lobster does. Oh, Carter's here. Hello, Tony. I'm back from Germany and Austria. Oh, how was your trip? Hope it was nice. I hear Germany's in rough shape. I mean, geez. Things are nuts over there. Not great things happening in Germany from what I hear. But I'm sure it's like everywhere else. You're fine until you're not, right? Ardent, hey Carter. Welcome back. How was Deutschland? Deutschland. So, yeah, that was my weekend. And it was nice. My girlfriend came and hung out with the family again. She loved the crabs and spaghetti. So that was a win for me, bringing her along. And then we played this game. We like to play games in my family. Indie Phantom, riots in Israel. Now? I'm in the middle of a live stream. These people. Let's see. Let's see if Dissenter has anything. You know, it's pretty good. It's Breitbart. They're pretty on point with breaking thing. No, not seeing anything here. So, I don't know. Fox, maybe? I don't know. Fox. Kind of can't stand Fox. No, nothing yet. Oh, wait. No. No. Oh, we'll see. Almost had breaking news there for a minute. Keep me posted. JC, Germany just had an election. The super right-wing parties did well. That's probably a good thing. I'm not 100% familiar with the right-wing parties in Germany, but I know this. The left-wing parties are communist. Carter, Germany isn't as bad as France. France is terrible. Austria was surprisingly amazing with very little diversity by European standards of immigration. Austria is also cheap. Good to know. Ardent, is your girlie Italian? If not, bet she's loving the new food. Damn it, now I miss my Sicilian ex's grandma's cooking all over again. Gonna have to make myself some puttanesca. I think I said that right. Yeah, I mean, she is not Italian, but she likes Italian guys, if you know what I'm saying. So she had a good time. She just likes that. I don't want to get too into who my girlfriend is. Oh, you know, because I don't want to say a lot of personal stuff online. But she was very happy, and I scored some points, I think. So that was good. But then we played this game that actually my girlfriend turned me on to. It's called Mexican Train, and I know you're saying, what? What the hell kind of name is that? No, it has nothing to do with trains, really, or Mexicans. It is a dominoes game, but you have to get a set of dominoes that has numbers on it from 1 to 12. And then you play like a domino. It's a long game. It took us about 2.5 hours to play it, but it was fun. Ardent, urge to make racist Italian joke. Cards? No, dominoes. But it was fun. It's a fun game if you ever get a chance to play it. And it it's not super strategic. Not super strategic. Mostly about luck, but we had a good time. Had a good time. Indie Phantom, Domino's is pizza. It is not pizza. You have to get to Jersey, Indie Phantom, and experience the deliciousness that is Jersey pizza, which is why I ate pizza instead of crabs. Because let me tell you, the pizza they got down the shore, and it had been reheated. It was delicious. So they got a margarita pizza, but the cheese on it was so good. And then they got a second pizza, which had, oh God, what the hell's the name of that meat now? Can't think of it. Not the normal meat on a pizza. It was, God, what the hell is it called? I can't think of the name. But it had like this sliced Italian meat on the pizza. It was really good. Ardent, Domino's is soda pizza. Oh, trash pizza. Trash pizza. Yeah, I don't like Domino's, but I have a very high bar. Gabagool, yes, I think it was that. I'm trying to think what it's called now. I guess that's it. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on that. JC, pulled pork? No, it wasn't pulled pork. Definitely wasn't pulled pork. It was that slice of prosciutto. That's it. Prosciutto. Thank you. God, I couldn't think of prosciutto. It was prosciutto, cheese. The prosciutto was on top. And then it had some greens on it. I think, I want to say, now I can't think of the greens. Pork and, begins with a B. Blanking on all my Italian food now. What the hell is the name of the stuff? The green pork and beef. I'm just going to put in... No, pork and beans will come up. That's no good. Sandwich, pork, and... What's the name of that? Not basil. Indie Phantom. I get good and bad pizza without hesitation. That is true. That is true. Not pulled pork sandwich. What the hell? God, this is driving me nuts. I can't think of this. And, of course, it doesn't come up. God, my brain is like a blank today. Who's got it? Who's got it in Philly? Tony Luke's has it. It's a pork sandwich with pork. It's this stuff. There it is. So, rosemary, parsley, no. Black pepper, olive oil. Where is it? What's the name? Broccoli Rob. God, I couldn't think of it. Ardent. LOL, pork and beans pizza sounds disturbingly English. No, it was broccoli Rob and prosciutto. So they made a regular sort of white pizza. It didn't have red sauce on it. Then they put broccoli Rob, and then they put prosciutto on it. And it was good. Wasn't as good as the margarita pizza, but it was good. The key, though, is the crust. So with the crust, you have to take the dough. You have to let it rise. Ardent, LOL, knew it from the picture. Right, I couldn't think of a word. Why? I've drawn such a blank. I'm a little tired. I also got my allergies. But so you have to let the dough rise. And in New Jersey, we have the perfect sort of humidity for that. Same thing in New York. That's why the pizza here is so good. So you let it rise. And ideally, after it rises, then you want to put it in the fridge overnight. And then make it the next day. But you don't have to. And then you need a really hot oven. So if you have a brick oven pizza oven, you're set to go. Ardent, friggin' lag making me seem repeating. No, you're good. Oh, you did get it. Broccoli Rob. There you go. Yeah. So, anyhow, that was my weekend. Good times. But now we have to get to the important thing. The craziest box office yet. Just like politics, the box office is nuts. It's absolutely nuts now. But kind of predictable when you think about it. Boom. Deadpool and Wolverine #1 this week. Crazy. Another #1 for Deadpool Wolverine. After dropping to #2. Came back to #1 last week. Now is #1 again. In its 6th week, it's the #1 movie. That shows you the state of movies. It's absolute S show. This is the only good movie out for the summer. Ardent, shocker. It is a shocker. Because I thought Alien Romulus would do better. And, it's got some decent reviews. Indie Phantom, insane, yes, weirdly predictable. Yeah, you know why? Because The Crow effing bombed. Where the hell is The Crow? Is it even on the... Oh my God, it's all the way down to 12. Oh my God, it dropped 61. Look at this. Look at The Crow. Well, it didn't start very high. It was 7 last week, dropping to 12. This movie's dead. This is the deadest movie Hollywood has ever made. This is deader than Eric Draven. Wow. Look at that. I wish I could go back in time and not buy my shares of Lionsgate. Indie Phantom has to be the biggest red flag yet. Ardent, I think Aliens' last 2 releases hurt Prometheus' chances. Indie Phantom, Crow drops out. Yeah, The Crow should have been the #1 movie. It should have been crushing Deadpool. Here's how you fix movies. So, Alien Romulus, I wouldn't have greenlit it, but if I did greenlight it, I would have said, what makes this different than any other Alien movie? I would have went back to the one movie they didn't do correctly. Ardent, Deader Than the Brandon Lee. JC, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me through 4 bad sequels and a terrible spin-off series with The Predator, shame on me. Yeah. So Alien Romulus, the only chance you had to make this movie any good was to A, start over, which isn't even where I would go. I would have done something akin to what they should have done in the third movie, which was the plot was the original plot of the third movie was there were 3 animal aliens that the aliens inhabit. Like in the third movie, the alien was based on a dog, so it was supposed to have different powers. They didn't really use it. Then there was supposed to be a bull and an ape. So what I would have done is I would have said, let's do that. Make it an alien zoo. The aliens come, they impregnate all the animals, and now they're fighting all kinds of crazy animal aliens. That would have been fun. Ardent, sorry, Romulus is not Prometheus. Confused. Did I say Prometheus? Indie Phantom. Crow is not a franchise. Nope, never was. The Crow is the easiest fix of all. The Crow, I would have taken one look at that script and said, you morons, go back and buy the comic and follow the comic exactly, because that's how you get the old fans back. You know, when the original movie The Crow came out, the biggest complaint was it didn't follow the movie. Now, we weren't going to complain too much about it. Brandon Lee had just died, and it's not a bad movie. It's okay. I mean, it's not the greatest movie in the world, but it was pretty good. It was close. It was in the realm of the comic, but if you had made the comic book like exactly frame for frame, oh my God, this would be the #1 movie, 2nd week in a row. It would make $1 billion. And you make one movie. Yeah, correct. Ardent, it could be a decent franchise, The Crow, if they had a good sense to go Highlander route, connected universes. No, it was never meant to be. It wasn't meant to be more than one story. You know, James O'Barr, I think, did some stories that took place after the initial story, but it's not really meant to go that far. JEC, the first movie kind of already followed the comic pretty much. Nope. Here's the problem with the movie, the original movie. Ardent, awesome soundtrack too. That was a huge factor. That was a huge factor in its hit. But here's what didn't follow. In the original comic, what happened was Eric and his girlfriend are in his muscle car, and he has this amazing vintage muscle car. And they're out on a date, and they get brutally attacked by a gang of criminals. They do horrible things to his girlfriend and kill her in front of him, and then they shoot him. I believe that's the order of the sequence, something like that. But Eric survives the attack, or does he? Because that's sort of hard to discern in the comic, because you see images, but you don't see super specific moments where you know what you're seeing is reality. So there, I believe there's like a frame of like 1 minute Eric's lying in the bed, and the next minute he's out of the hospital, his bed is empty, which could mean he died, and really what you're seeing is all a dream, or not. And even at the end of the comic, Eric is just sort of lying. You don't know if he's dead or alive. You don't know if he has powers. In one part, he just injects himself with a bunch of drugs and then goes crazy and starts killing all the criminals. You don't know if what's real and what's not in that comic. And that's sort of the beauty of it. And they could have done that in the movie way more effectively than the comic did it. Like, it was hard to get across in the comic like that. So in the Brandon Lee movie, one of the thugs has his car, but it should have been Eric's car. It should have been his car. JC. Everyone would already know the twist, though. The comic had a lot of the same characters. The pawn shop was in the comic. Yeah. I mean, it was close. It was definitely in the realm, but that would be the only reason to redo it, would be, okay, now we're going to really follow the comic. I mean, the only people going to see The Crow would have been people who were fans of the original movie, who wanted to see it again, but better, right? Yeah, I mean, you could see that, right? If I saw, to get me to go see The Crow, if you announced, hey, we followed the comic, it looks exactly like the comic, I would have been there. I would have been bringing people there. I would have been telling everybody, oh my God, they finally did the comic. And you could say, well, it's not aimed at you. But if you're looking at the audience that it would be aimed at in terms of the age, those people weren't around to see the first movie. They were probably just being born. So they probably haven't seen it. So it's perfectly fine. The twist is the same in my view. But, I mean, if you're going to try to redo it and then not make it the same, I mean, you're just going to need somebody super talented. And I don't think they accomplished that mission at all. The problem is too many people in Hollywood are just full of themselves. And a lot of them are really good at presenting themselves, but they're not actually talented. But they're good at presenting what talent they have. So they can convince you, for instance, that they can direct a movie, but it turns out they can't. There are a lot of guys like that in Hollywood. The problem is there are some good directors that can't convince you he's a good director. Which means you have to go see his movie and go, wow, he's a really good director. He talked like a moron in the meeting, but my God, his work is fabulous. Same thing with screenwriters, same thing with a few actors, although actors usually are pretty personable. So Hollywood doesn't, part of the problem is Hollywood doesn't track down talent anymore. In the old days, they looked for talent. Especially the old Hollywood guys. I met one of the old Hollywood guys back in the 80s. He was clearly an old school Hollywood guy. He was like, kid. I don't remember his name. I literally met him for 5 minutes. It's like, listen, kid, that's not the way this works. He was that guy. And that guy could see, at least, I mean, he didn't know if I had talent because he didn't read my scripts, but he understood that I at least had the moxie to show up in the Paramount Studios and try to promote my screenplays and try to sell them. So, but like Hollywood doesn't do that anymore. They're all corporate guys. And corporate guys, no, you come to me. Oh, you want to make a movie? Come to me and sell me on the movie. Oh, you've sold me. Okay. Well, if I'm a great salesman but I suck at my job, you just bought a movie that sucks. But that's the way a lot of corporate guys are. And corporate guys are terrible at picking movies. They just are. There are very few guys who are in corporate who know what they're doing. Corporate guys just jump from one job to another to make a lot of money. They rarely care about the actual product. They think they can market any product. It takes a specific kind of skill set to market and know what movies are about. JC, it's all Nepo babies. All these actresses people complain about are the daughters of executives. That is very true too. There's a lot of Nepo babies. Men, women, executives, actors, directors, writers, especially writers. And I'll say especially writers because that's the last thing. So the first thing, acting. Everybody wants to be an actor. Everybody wants to be famous. But you got to be good looking. And you have to have some amount of talent. Like you have to be at least charismatic. You can be a complete asshat. But if you're charismatic, they'll probably give you a reading at least, even if you can't act. The next level, I think, is probably executive or director, because both those positions hold a lot of power, but they're a lot of work, and I would say executive probably wins out because that's the least amount of work. You just make decisions. And the older you get, the more credibility you have in that realm. Director is a lot of work. Even if you suck, even if you have all that Nepo baby cred, it's a lot of work. And then the last thing is writer. Writer is like, well, you're not good looking enough to be an actor. You don't seem driven enough to be an executive. You're definitely not responsible enough to be a director. So why don't you write something? Yeah, you know the English language. Write some words. Indie Phantom, seems like corporate guys would be weak at recognize something fresh. They're absolutely weak at it. In fact, they do the opposite. They're incentivized to do the opposite. Why are they doing Alien Romulus? Because that's what worked before. That's why they're doing it. They're going back through the IPs because somebody else made money at it. Now they're doing it too. That's all they do is they go through IPs. Oh, this made money 20 years ago. Let's do this again. Ardent, is Max Landis a Nepo baby? I believe he is. Right? Isn't he John Landis's kid? JC, Rachel Zegler is one. That actress from Star Wars show that complains about the fans this week. You have to be way more specific than that, but sure. She's on Broadway in Romeo and Juliet right now. I'll give her props for at least trying to do some theater. I'll say this about Rachel Zegler. Part of it's not her fault. I would blame most of Zegler's career on the executives who promoted her way too quickly. I mean, just way too quickly. Look, like Jennifer Lawrence is pretty talented. I don't think she's a Nepo baby, but she's pretty talented. Seeing her like rise to stardom, like that made sense. She's beautiful, super talented, sure. Rachel Zegler is just not talented. She can sing. She can't really act all that well. And she cannot pick a role to save her life. God, the roles they keep putting her in. JC, yes, Max Landis is Nepo baby. Yes. Yeah, they're everywhere in Hollywood. It's... Hey, look. Nick Cage is too, but he's good. But Nick Cage changed his name. You'll notice. So he didn't have that cachet of Nepo baby. You know, he sort of made his own bones. For the most part. I mean, you know. JC, Jennifer Lawrence was a Harvey Weinstein girl. Yes. But still talented. Still very talented. I am already drinking way too much iced tea. I'm probably going to have to go to the bathroom. Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence just way too hot. Whew. Break out in a sweat every time I see her pictures. Indie Phantom. Zegler was a YouTube girl that was cast by Senor Spielbergo. Spielbergo. Senor Spielbergo. Get me his Mexican equivalent. Senor Burns is a Diablo. Ah, I love that bit. That is a funny bit. Ah, I miss when The Simpsons were funny. God. JC, I disagree. Jennifer Lawrence is a mid-ice queen with terrible vibes. I think she's kind of gotten that way now, but like, I don't know, man. Silver Linings Playbook? You know, look at that caboose on that. She's But yeah, so Alien Romulus and The Crow should be crushing this box office. They should be on top. It should be The Crow, Alien, Romulus, and then Deadpool and Wolverine. So that is sad. It's sad times. 15.1 million for Deadpool and Wolverine. I saw on one of the trades it cracked 600 million domestically. So we're at $1.257 billion. Still good, though. Still a monster. Alien Romulus. I hope this movie doesn't make its money back. I want to see the franchise just die now at this point. Cost $80 million, made $283 million worldwide. You could see it's doing much better internationally. That's because there's a lot of effects. They look cool. And that translates well overseas because overseas movies, they don't have the money to do this kind of stuff, generally speaking. And where else did it play internationally? Oh, China. Oh, there you go. There's your answer. 73 million in China alone. So there's your answer. JC, 15 million for the top spot during a long weekend. Sad. Yeah, it's terrible. And Alien Romulus, not that much more. Or not, I mean, look at it. Only 9, it doesn't even crack 10 million. It's in its third week, but Crow should have been up here. Crow should have been number one. Should have been Crow, Alien, Deadpool. They F that up. It ends with us, still at number 3. This is doing steady, but that's about all you can expect for a movie like this. It's going to be steady, I think. Because it's a romance movie. It's based on a book. 283 million. Colleen Hoover writes these books. Mention that to your girlfriend. It's a 50-50 shot. She's already read the book. Number 4 is Reagan, the biopic. That's surprisingly good for a biopic about Reagan, made 40 years later. 7.4 million. I mean, I wouldn't go see this, but that's pretty high, considering. But again, these numbers should be higher. Twisters at number 5 in its 7th week. That shows you right there. There's no way this movie should be up here on the 7th week. There should have been like 5 other movies ahead of it. But none of the movies that came out after it are doing good. Reagan looks cheap. Yeah, you know, it's a biopic. How much money are you going to spend on a damn thing? You know? To me, like, I was around for all that. So, like, you're just going to recreate it. I'm just going to go, that doesn't look right. Yeah, Dennis Quaid doesn't look, or Randy Quaid? No, which Quaid is it? Yeah, Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid doesn't look quite right. It's not quite how he sounded. That's not quite how it happened. So, you know, I'm not sure there was a big market for Reagan, but it's doing okay, I guess, in this terrible, terrible market. This movie, Blink Twice. This should have been in the top 5, and it's not. 2nd week, 4.6 million, but it was directed by Zoe Kravitz, and it looks boring as F. Indie Phantom, I will stream Reagan, but it looks way too Lifetime. Yeah. I'm not even interested in streaming it, really. I mean, ask me. I can tell you anything you want to know about Reagan. Yeah, they shot him. Okay. Well, there you go again. Everybody was doing Reagan impersonations back in the day. Every stand-up comic could do Reagan. It's weird. I can't do Trump to save my life, but Reagan could do Reagan all day long. Number 7, The Forge. This is a religious picture. It's number 7. It's in its 2nd week. 4.6 million. It's doing pretty well, because I bet this movie cost 10 cents. Literally nothing. It doesn't have a budget. I bet that Blink Twice movie, though, cost money. What did that cost? No budget. Yeah, I mean, it's got Channing Tatum in it. It had to cost something. Despicable Me 4, holding on at 8. God, this thing's in its ninth week. JC, speaking of Nepo Baby, Zoe Kravitz. You have to be more specific. There's so many Nepo babies. What did I mention? Like 9 in the last 10 minutes? Number 9 is Afraid. What is this? 3.7 million? Afraid. Oh, this is a AI thriller movie. 6 million worldwide, that is. Yeah, so they make, I don't know, this is the plot of that Simpsons episode with Pierce Brosnan. Indie Phantom, Channing Tatum has not been BO since 22 Jump Street. JC, yeah, Zoe. Okay. Yeah, I thought you might have meant Channing Tatum. I wasn't sure if he was a Nepo baby. I don't think he is. Channing Tatum, I don't know, Magic Mike made a fortune. But the last Magic Mike movie bombed, I think. So, Channing Tatum, I think he's a good sport, but I don't think he's a good actor unless he's in a very specific role. And if they do that Channing Tatum Gambit, I don't think it'll be a good movie. I kind of want it to be, but his accent was hilarious for Deadpool. I can't imagine 90 minutes of that accent. No way. He's got to get better at that. Ah, shit. His accent was not great in Deadpool. Well, for Deadpool and Wolverine, it was hilarious, but for a serious movie with Gambit, I don't know, man. I don't know if I could take 90 minutes. JC, he's aging out of his gimmick. Yeah. I mean, he's still in pretty good shape. You know? Oh, Indie Phantom. Fly Me to the Moon also choked. That looked awful. God, that looked awful. You have two of the best looking people in Hollywood and you can't make that work? What the F is wrong with you, Hollywood? Although Scarlett Johansson ain't no spring chicken anymore, but still, she looked good in that movie. Number 10, drop it from 9, Inside Out 2. This movie's in its 12th week. It's in the top 10. Will you put out some damn movies, Hollywood? God. It's like nothing's out. And Afraid, it looks cheap. That looks like a low-budget affair. Number 11, Coraline, a movie that was out 30 years ago. That movie's doing a 2.7 million. So look at that. That's crazy that it's even out. Number 12, The Crow. I mean, this is ridiculous. Dropping 61% despite it already started low. We're talking, it hasn't cracked 10 million. What was the budget on this thing? $50 million. It's not even going to make the budget. JC, you hear about the Neil Gaiman drama? Yeah, we could talk about that if you want. It looks bad, man. I defended him initially. I don't know. The impression I got initially was, because I met him once and I had heard about his open relationship and falsely assumed that, well, if his wife pushed for an open relationship and then kind of, started banging dudes. Doesn't sound that way now with all the accusations. Sounds like maybe he was into the open relationship, but I don't know. Indie Phantom, this is likely the strike hiatus catching up bigly, I'll say. But what a time for it to catch up in the middle of or end of the summer. You miss Labor Day weekend? Crazy. Absolutely nuts. How did you miss Labor Day weekend with Captain America 4? You could have dropped Captain America 4 here if you finished the damn thing. Although that's probably a piece of crap too. Yeah, but this Crow, man. And this is so far away from the comic. It's from what I was reading about it, like it's a completely different story almost entirely. So this, you'll be lucky to make 20 million with this thing. Not even half of its budget. That means all the advertising's just money burned. So that's $100 million down the tubes. Lionsgate. Here's a new movie from Lionsgate called 1992. Did I see this trailer? I don't think I did. Or did I? You know what? Let's go look at it. $1992. Here it is. Oh, that's a TV miniseries? That's not it. This one says it was done in 2022. That's the movie. This is like a 2-year-old movie. A shopkeeper must save his son from an angry mob during the 1992 LA uprising after Rodney King verdict. Oh my God, they must have been sitting on this thing. Okay. That might be okay. Indie Phantom. Some of these summer bombs: Borderlands, Crow, even Fall Guy. Oh God, I forgot about Borderlands. That's right. Borderlands should have still been on this list. Where the hell is Borderlands? Oh, here it is, all the way down here. It's only in its fourth week. It should be up there. It should be in the top 10. JC, I was watching a stream. They were pointing out how Gaiman's dad was a high-ranking Scientologist. Uh-oh. And then they went into how Scientologists used to butt up L. Ron Hubbard's book in bulk, or buy up, I think he meant, L. Ron's book in bulk to boost sales. Yep. Time 1992 for Kamala, but looks okay. Possibly. All right, I can't think. I got to use the bathroom. All right, Joan. Entertain everybody. I'll be right back. Go ahead. Entertain the crowd, Joan. All right, you can go back to sleep. I'll take over. All right. Sorry about that. Borderlands is on PPV already. PPV. What is PPV? JC, are Scientologists buying high-ranking members' books to make them look good still? Did Gaiman really sell 50 million books? Okay, so two things. The first thing about Indie Phantom time 1992 for Kamala, I think there are two other movies that are definitely timed for the election, and that is Winner, the reality Winner movie with Zach Galifianakis, which I reviewed the trailer of, and The Apprentice, which is the Donald Trump biopic movie that one of the investors is a Trump guy, and he tried to hold the movie back, but apparently they're coming to some sort of agreement, and now it's coming out. But on Scientology, I know a little bit about Scientology. Not that I was ever in it or anything like that. But my understanding is Dianetics, which was the L. Ron Hubbard book, it was like the book you would read to get into Scientology, basically. It would be like a self-help book mixed with like their beliefs in various entities, let's say. And they would buy them. The deal was they would keep buying the books and then bringing them back to the Scientology outlet, wherever it was. The Scientology guys, like, all the members had to buy the books, number one. So you had to have your own copy, and then you had to have all the other copies. So it was partly, I guess you would call it a Ponzi scheme of some kind. I'm just speculating. I'm not saying that's the actual case, Scientologists. These are just my opinions. And then the idea was to keep Dianetics on the bestseller list continuously. They would have their members buy up more copies. Then they would bring those copies back to the, I don't know what they call it, the headquarters or little base they would have in all major cities. And then they would take copies of the book, repackage them, and, you know, if they needed more books and bookstores kept ordering it because people kept buying it, And they would just ship them back to the bookstores again to be bought by Scientologists again. Now, I'm not sure if they did that for Neil. However, what they would probably do, and this is just a guess, and I think this is true, that if he was a Scientologist, and I never heard that Neil was a Scientologist. I never heard that about his dad, but it's very possible he was a Scientologist too. He never talked about religion. That's interesting. Not that I'm aware of. But they did definitely try to support other Scientologists. So it would make sense that these Scientology members would buy at least one copy of Neil's book, because they would not only want to support another Scientologist, but they would consider that a safe book for them. Like, it wouldn't be a book about something negative about Scientology. So that's very interesting. Indie Phantom, pay-per-view, or whatever you call it now. Oh, Borderlands is on pay-per-view? Oh, must be on some sort of pay streaming thing. Ardent, sorry I disappeared. Had the nephew helping me clean up my shed, then had to get a shower. What did I miss? The box office. It's terrible. And Neil Gaiman. LeMay is here. So it is like the Freemasons. I don't know what the Freemasons are like. I know that we have a headquarters of the Masons in my little town. I'm in a town that's only 1,900 people, but it's an old town. And we have a little Freemason place. They sit out there and smoke cigars sometimes. They seem cool. JC, good way to launder money now. Buying books up. Scientologists hate paying taxes. Well, they're tax-free now, so they don't have to worry about that. They're considered a religion. They pressured the U.S. government for that status, and they dropped all their lawsuits if they got that status, and they eventually did. Who did that documentary? It's a recent documentary on Scientology. It's pretty good. Ardent, well, I didn't miss much then. Hello, LeMay. Yeah, so it's very possible that Neil got a boost from being a Scientologist, if he is one, for his books. But, you know, it's not like they would have bought it like the Scientology books, because that's very specific for Dianetics. And I don't think they do that anymore, because I haven't heard. They either changed the rules on the bestseller list so they couldn't keep constantly gaming it, or they just can't buy enough books, or they just don't do it anymore. I don't know. JC, still got to declare where the money came from, even if they're a church. Yes, they do. But they don't have to pay taxes on it, so they could declare it all day. Got something in my eye. LeMay says hi. Ardent. Indie Phantom, forgive my outdated terms. Borderland is basically available for digital download in record time. Heard The Crow drops in a few days. Oh my God, that would be record time. Because The Crow's only been out 2 weeks. And Borderland's been out for a month at least. Jesus. That's so horrible. Borderlands is only in 179 theaters too. It's already out of theaters. Well, makes sense. I mean, nobody's saying a damn thing. Oh, and look at Trap. Trap is at number 13 from 10. That didn't do very well either. But that's in its 5th week. JC, yeah, but if they're not getting the money through the legal ways, they'd have to wash it. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, they got so much real estate. There's so many ways you can cook your books when you have that kind of, that many businesses, because you just write everything off as a business expense. So Trap is at 73 million. That doesn't sound like money. No, I got to think this movie was like 60, 70, 80 million, something like that. Shaun of the Dead is back out? Look at this. Trap is already on digital too. I may very well see Trap. I still kind of want to see it. Look at Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead hasn't even cracked 30 million in its entire run. Isn't that something? But I bet it didn't cost much. What did it cost? They have a budget? $5 million. So that's pretty good. But man, they're re-releasing Shaun of the Dead. I mean, now you're just re-releasing movies that are halfway decent. I mean, I love Shaun of the Dead. I got the poster back here, but JC, Trap is dumb but fun. So bad it's good. Interesting. I still kind of want to see it. Now, this movie I'm hearing a lot about. Strange Darling. I hear it's really good. This is its second week, dropping by 55%. It's a low-budget movie. I think I want to see this movie. So I'm definitely going to catch it on streaming. A relentless predator tracks an injured woman through the Oregon wilderness. The woman does her best to outsmart her attacker, but with each tense moment, she grows weaker and less able. He's a man on a mission, and it's only a matter of time before he captures his prey. Sounds good to me. Indie Phantom Trap is crazy dumb, but watchable, yes. Slingshot. And this is new from Bleecker Street. Let's see. It's vaguely familiar. Casey Affleck and Lawrence Fishburne. Oh yeah, this is a space movie with Casey Affleck and Lawrence Fishburne. I don't know, man. An astronaut struggles to maintain his grip on reality aboard a possibly fatal compromised mission to Saturn moon Titan. Yeah, I don't know. Lawrence Fishburne seems to be a little too old for this. This seems like it's going to be one of those movies where at the end of the movie you realize one of the characters wasn't even there the whole time. Something like The Sixth Sense, only not as good. Oh, Ionesis has entered the chat. Hello, Ionesis. Welcome. A space movie. Yes. Yes. So we'll see how that goes. 1992, by the way, I think has Ray Liotta in it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's him right there. Yeah. Yeah, one of Ray Liotta's last movies. So another reason to go see it, probably. But, Slingshot, maybe. I don't know. Casey Affleck doesn't really strike me as an astronaut. Just doesn't strike me as an astronaut. Ben Affleck could kind of pull it off, but Casey feels like he's a Boston detective who accidentally walked into the rocket ship during a tour and then happened to still be on when the rocket took off. You know? Ben Affleck could kind of pass for an astronaut, but not Casey. Not Casey. Lawrence Fishburne has played an astronaut. He was, of course, in Event Horizon, the legendary Event Horizon movie, which is a space horror movie, which everyone should see and make fun of. Let's see. DD, that's an anime thing. I don't care. Harold and the Purple Crayon still hanging on in its 5th week. I mean, that's another movie. Like, here it is in its 5th week. It's only in 302 theaters. It's like made $235,000. It's kind of sad. Sing Sing, that movie should be gone. Long Legs, terrible. Absolutely terrible. Long Legs was. Ardent, Event Horizon was good fun. Did anyone else see Long Legs? Am I the only idiot to see Long Legs? Because, man, that movie sucked. Cat Video Fest 2024. Again, totally pointless movie there. Ionesis, Lawrence Fishburne plays in Megalopolis. That's correct. That's right, he isn't. I'm rooting for Megalopolis. I really want it to do well. I just want everybody in Hollywood to have to apologize to Francis Ford Coppola. Ionesis, Long Legs is an empty shell. You got that right. Terrible, terrible movie. Good one. That's a indie movie. Nothing to write home about. Here's Borderlands. So, oh, what happened? Can't get to the... Oh, great. The numbers conked out on me. Cannot connect to the database. What are you doing to me, numbers? Oh, the site's dead. Indie Phantom, Long Legs wasn't awesome. That is correct. Very not awesome. JC, they probably tour the cat video thing around the different theaters every week. Yeah, it's making money. Who the hell would go see that? Oh, there we go. All right, did I get back in? Looks like Atlas Shrugs. What does? Sorry. Oh, come on. Come on, the numbers. All right. I think I'm done with the numbers anyway. I was only about 4 movies away from the end. I would like to know the totals, though. Here we go. Okay. Oh, wait. There's a couple of more things. So Borderlands did 15 million domestic. Yeah, I can't get to the rest of the site, so that is definitely not money. Borderlands. Good one, Long Legs. I don't know what looks like Atlas Shrugs. Borderlands? That can't be Borderlands. Good one. That takes place in the woods. Long Legs is about a serial killer. Cat Video Fest? You must be making a joke. Cuckoo, that looked okay for an indie movie. Kind of a thriller. Tokyo Cowboy. That's like a fish out of water story. It's an indie movie. Seeking Mavis Bacon. Ionisys, Alien Romulus has made way too much money. I agree. Oh, Megalopolis. Thank you. Yeah, could be. Could be, like Atlas Shrugs. Yeah. Seeking Mavis Bacon. I never heard of this movie. Or did I? Okay. Investigates the disappearance and re-examines the legacy of one of the most influential black women in technology. I never heard of this person, but okay. Take your word for it that she was influential. She just disappeared, eh? Weird. And then Mountains by Music Box Films. Made $7,301. That is a $75 million box office at the end of summer for Labor Day weekend. Still got tomorrow. I don't see it doing much better. Who the hell's going to these movies on a Monday? Not me. No way. Just about everybody saw Deadpool and Wolverine at this point. I don't know. Maybe Twisters? Ionisys, Megalopolis. Oh, I skipped some. LeMay. Oh, the typing software lady? I don't know who she is. Ionisys, Megalopolis would be the last movie of Coppola. For that alone, I want to see the movie. Yeah, and Hollywood's really coming down on him. LeMay, I thought the name sounded familiar. Oh. I guess so. Typing software lady. I guess she was an innovator, but she disappeared mysteriously. So that's the box office. 75 million this week. It's crazy. A crazy box office. So if this is the downstream of the strike, I mean, how much longer of this do we get? I guess we get it through the rest of the year. I guess Christmas will be just as lame. And then we got January, February, the dead time. JC, if it's an Atlas Shrugs type thing, it would explain why Hollywood wouldn't touch it. Yeah. I mean, It's got an A-lister. Iona says, still a comic book movie that dominates. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. You think Hollywood would just embrace Megalopolis because there's nothing else to embrace. There's nothing else here. What are they going to embrace in the next couple of weeks? You know? Even if The Crow had hit, even if Alien Romulus had hit, they're done. They'd be done by now. Next week they're done. So, when is Megalopolis coming out? I think soon. Let's see release dates here. Let's see if I can find them. What the hell's coming out? Showtimes, TV shows, what to watch. Well, coming soon. Where's coming soon? Release calendar. Here we go. All right, next weekend. Okay, this will be a big movie. Beetlejuice. That'll be big. All right. The rest of the stuff looks like nothing. Then Am I Racist comes out from Matt Walsh. I do want to see that. That looks fun. After that, the 20th, Transformers 1, I guess, and The Substance. I don't think those will do. Set the world on fire. Little Brother, I just looked at that trailer. 27th. Okay, so the 27th, Megalopolis. So that's when we could expect that. It goes up against Lee, The Wild Root, Bagman. That's a horror movie. Notice to Quit, Empire Waste, which is a fat girl making good in the fashion world movie. That looks so bad. She Taught Love, Putin, a biography. Now let's see what's coming out. Let's just keep going, see what's coming out during the election. Indie Phantom. Sadly, Megalopolis is another Lionsgate movie. Maybe your stock improves. One can only hope. That thing gets back to what I paid for it. It is gone. Then Joker 2 drops on October 4th. So we got the Halloween movies coming out. Monster Summer. Saturday night, the Saturday Night Live biography. I'm the biggest Saturday Night Live fan, and I care very little for this movie. They bill it as a biography comedy drama. I don't know, man. And why is J.K. Simmons and William Dafoe in it? Terrifier 3, that'll be a big movie. Ionisys. Comments on the movie Late Night with the Devil came out not so long ago. It's true. That's a movie I want to catch on streaming. Here's The Apprentice. Now, this is going to be October 11th. This is the Trump movie. So that's the first movie to be political against Trump. Smile 2's coming out already. Oh, that should do well. That first movie did pretty well. People like that movie. Venom: The Last Dance comes out at the end of October. That could be good. I don't know. Probably not. I don't think it'll be good, but it could do well. Hit Pig, that looks terrible. The Carpenter. We're in November now. And that's it. Where's the other movie? Winter. I guess it's already out. Winter's supposed to come out at some point before this. And now we're past the election, so I was just interested to see what was going to come out after the election. So, nothing great. Gladiator 2, November 22nd. Yeah, it sounds like a great Thanksgiving Day movie. Oh, I'm so full of turkey. Let's go watch Gladiator. Watch Denzel Washington take over the Roman Empire. That's what happens, by the way. That's what's going to happen. Denzel Washington's character shares the same name as a guy who basically made his way in as emperor. Ayana says, ha 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 ha, Gladiator 2. Space Dog with 2 G's. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Werewolves on December 6th. Yeah, that's a perfect Christmas movie. Y2K is coming out. That's a Rachel Zegler movie. It actually looks okay. It's the kind of movie she should have been cast in as the love interest, the, kind of halfway decent girl next door who has very few lines. LeMay, any movie that came out in the recent years that you can call a classic? Oh my God, a classic. I don't know about that. War of Rohirrim's coming out. Kraven the Hunter, forget that. Sonic the Hedgehog. Christmas, just in time for Nosferatu, everybody. Your favorite Christmas movie. Ionisys, Gladiator 2, we have no clue. There's your tagline. Classic. I don't know, man. Kind of depends on what you consider a classic, I guess. Last few years. Nothing comes to mind. I mean, I gotta say, the first Joker movie was really good. Surprisingly good. I really enjoyed the look of it and the feel. Felt very much like a 70s movie. I mean, not just because it looked like it was shot in the 70s. I mean, everything about that movie. Ardent Werewolves and Nosferatu for Christmas. Yeah. Ugh, no wonder the one I'm most interested in is Kraven. Yeah. Who released monster movies in Christmas? It makes no sense. I know, Joan. I know. Yeah, there's not a lot of original movies out as part of the problem. I mean, some of the MCU movies you could say are kind of original, but they're kind of not. I mean, even Deadpool's it's not really original when you think, like, they didn't write the movie based on nothing. They wrote it based on the comics. Now, this Deadpool and Wolverine wasn't a comic, but it was very much, there's like a lot of stuff in it that's very much like the comics. But in terms of a classic, something that'll be around 50 years from now, I don't know. Maybe Oppenheimer. I mean, because of the historical stuff in it, that'll be considered something. I don't think Barbie. I think Barbie will be forgotten. I don't know. Name some hit movies and maybe. I can't really think of anything that blew my doors off. I'll tell you, that Bone Tomahawk movie was really good, but that was 2008, I think. Wasn't it? That movie was like really good, but oh man. Ionisys, I thought the Guillermo del Toro version of Nightmare Alley was one of the best movies I've seen in recent years. I didn't see it. A lot of people told me it was overblown, and I don't know. That was a remake too, wasn't it? LeMay, no more funny Christmas movies. I like Jingle All the Way. Ardent or The Ref. Christmas movies. Last year, didn't we get that horrible Seth Rogen cartoon? What do you want, Joan? Come here. Come over here. You can sit here. All right. Fix your ear. There you go. Yeah, Christmas movies. Part of the problem is everything's so screwed up. Hollywood doesn't do things truthfully. And like, if you're going to do comedy, there has to be a certain amount of truth in it. And so anything they try to pass off as being funny usually is a total lie, right? I forget what movie I was watching, or at least parts of it. Maybe I only saw the trailer, but it took place in San Francisco. And it made San Francisco look great. And I just thought to myself, that whole place should be covered in poop. There should be like homeless people in the background of every single shot. Same thing with like movies in New York and Chicago, there should be gunfire in the background of every effing shot. And there's just not. It's like Hollywood keeps making movies that take place in a reality that doesn't exist. So I was just watching. I just did a trailer thing on what the hell is it called? Is it Die Alone? Yeah, it's Die Alone. It's a new zombie movie with Carrie-Anne Moss, and they have this scene where it's like Carrie-Anne Moss has magazine covers and newspaper clippings of like things that happened in the pandemic before society collapsed. And I was like, no one does that anymore. No one has a newspaper. Like, the only people I know who have newspapers are my older relatives who are in their 70s and 80s. They still read newspapers sometimes. Like, if the zombies came and they survived, yeah, they would have newspaper clippings up. Everybody else younger than them, myself included, I wouldn't have any newspapers to clip out a thing from. I'd be like, I'd go to my phone, it wouldn't work, and I'd be like, oh, shoot, I'm screwed. Here, Joan, here's your bed. So, it's like, the guys who made the movie just did everything they've seen in other movies. And in other movies, it's like when you see the spinning newspaper. Remember that in the old-time movies? It'd be like, and it'd be a headline like, main character saves world or something. And it's like, you can't do that anymore. People don't read newspapers. People don't read magazines. Like, there's a handful of people left. Older people read magazines. When you're talking about the people who watch movies, they don't read magazines. They don't watch movies. Zebek's Demise is here. Welcome, Zebek. I know one guy, but he gets his newspapers from the upstairs neighbor who is old. See? It's weird. So, if you were going to set a movie in a zombie time, you can't do that bit where I've got pictures and I've got newspaper clippings and magazine covers because this is the last thing that happened before, everything died. No, you'd be like, oh yeah, I have a newspaper from 1994, but I don't have anything current right after the zombies came because my cell phone doesn't work anymore. Haven't been able to charge it. Something like that. It's just nuts. It's like they make movies in a reality that doesn't exist anymore. I put cell phones or smartphones in the Pineys all the time. Like, one of the characters, the youngest character, I always make it Shelly. When they have to look something up, Shelly looks it up in about 2 seconds. Hey, where's that thing? Oh, wait, hold on. And then, 2 lines later, Shelly's like, oh, according to this. But, I don't have people look up stuff in books necessarily. I mean, sometimes I have to for other reasons, but you have to explain that. It's like nobody writes anything in reality anymore. That's part of the problem with movies. This is why people can't relate to it. This is why they're going back to the past. So they don't have to do, okay, we'll go back to the past. Not everybody has a smartphone there, and nobody will be recording anything. They could get away with this. It shows a lack of creativity in my view. All right, let's move on to the trades. Dancing to Wolf's standing ovation. Okay, so let me explain to you, if you haven't heard what I talked about in previous videos. Every year there are various film festivals, and Variety especially, but some of the other trades too, rates the movies according to the time of the standing ovation. Zebek's Demise. I Loke Shelley's Housing Project. Oh, I love Shelley's Housing Project. Yes. Yes. You must be all caught up, Zebek, on the Pineys if you know about Shelley's house. Yes, that's going to be an ongoing thing for a while. So in all the film festivals, they seem to rate everything by how long the standing O lasts. So far we got Angelina Jolie's movie at 8 minutes. Nicole Kidman has a movie called Baby Girl. It lasted 6.5 minutes, the standing O. Somebody else got like a 2-minute one, I forget. Ardent, something just occurred to me. If there were time travelers, they would never go back to the past. They would never go back past the smartphone era. Too hard to record things. Maybe. Or it depends on the rules of time travel. Maybe they have to go back to prior to smartphones so they don't get caught. Alex Ogle, hello. Was in the UK for the last 2 weekends. No, I wasn't arrested for being a right-wing bigot. Glad to hear. Well, welcome back. Everybody's back from vacation. Carter was in Germany and Austria. And he was not arrested there either. But then again, they just elected some right-wingers, so maybe things are going to change. Glad you survived the UK and got to take one last look before it descends into a communist hellscape. That's a shame about Keir Starmer. I mean, Starmer is... If you're not following what's going on in the UK, it's just so depressing. I feel so bad for the Lotus Eaters. For a couple of weeks there, I thought, oh man, things are turning around. And then now it's like Keir Starmer is arresting everyone for thought crimes. And I am not exaggerating. We got to get Trump back into office, if only to save the UK. We may have to reinvade Canada, the UK, most of Europe. Not Hungary, though. So, anyhow, all the film festivals, have standing O's. So, we rate the movies now by the standing O's. So, Wolf's got a 4-minute standing O. So, that's the second to lowest one. Alex Ogle, Orwell predicted a fair bit, but Anthony Burgess wrote 1985, which was far more relevant to what's going on. Oh, interesting. I didn't know there was a book like that. That sounds very interesting. I might have to check that out. Yeah, I have zero interest in this Wolf's movie, and it already sounds way too overhyped. Oh, here we go. Jude Law is officially back after 7-minute standing ovation for fighting white supremacy in The Order. Indie Phantom, Clooney is hard to stomach now. Yeah, he's really gotten way too political, and he thinks he can do everything, and people will just accept him for it. I think he's always had that attitude. Now, like, I didn't care when he was doing that to Hollywood executives and thumbing his nose at them. But, yeah, I think he's, at this point, I'm done with him. JC, conservatives are doing so good in the polls. Trudeau is saying he's rolling back his immigration policies this week. Ooh, sounds like Kamala Harris and her, I'm going to build the wall, and there's not going to be taxes on tips, and I'm going to have orange hair. Alex Ogle, Trump was the most pro-British president since Eisenhower. It's a shame how the British treated him. JC, Clooney is overrated, was never a big star. I have a friend who's an actor, and he hates Clooney. He hates Clooney so much, and he goes on and on how he's a terrible actor. Alex Ogle, and he's a classically trained actor. He knows what he's talking about. Alex Ogle, Jude Law, I saw him last in AI, which was mediocre. He should have stayed in the shadows. Ouch. Ouch, Alex. Ouch. Iona says, Clooney thinks he's a movie star. He kind of is. I mean, he's in movies. So, if you're ranking this now, we've got Angelina Jolie with 8 minutes standing O, Jude Law with 7 minutes standing O, Nicole Kidman with 6.5 standing O, and now Brad Pitt and George Clooney with 4 minutes standing O. One of the other movies got like a 3-minute, I think. I can't think of what it was. Arden at JEC. LOL, both libs and cons in Canada are stealing the PPC platform again and perverting it. Neither will say they'll stop immigration like Max Bernier said is. Indie Phantom. Yeah, QT was right about Clooney not being a star. Oh yeah, Quentin Tarantino. That's right. I remember that. Alex Ogle. I give Sydney Sweeney a permanent standing ovation. I agree. I just found her, what's the name? Instagram account. So I get updates all the time from Sydney. All right, who else? Oh, wait a minute. We have a new contender. Adrian Brody is overcome with emotion as Brady Corbett's devastating immigrant story, The Brutalist, gets a 12-minute standing ovation. All right, so Adrian Brody now in the lead. 12-minute. Adrian Brody at 12. Angelina Jolie at 8. Jude Law at 7. Nicole Kidman at 6.5. Jude Law... no, I'm sorry. Brad Pitt and George Clooney at 4. Took 2 of those guys to get 4. Let's see. Saturday Night Review. Jason Reitman finds the right ensemble to capture the lunacy from which SNL was born. Yeah, I don't think he does. I really think the tone of that whole trailer was way off. Ardent. Are these audience members part SEAL? You'd think. Ionesis. Although Clooney did a good job in the movie Michael Clayton. I like that movie. PPC ain't winning a single seat, though. I also liked Clooney in From Dusk Till Dawn. But that's the sort of movie like anybody could have been in when you think about it. Although I argue with my friend on that. I just like the movie. I think it's a cool vampire movie, but he hates it. And he kind of hates Quentin in it, and he hates George Clooney in it, too. Let's see. Saturday Night may score a Best Picture invitation to Oscars Sunday. I guess. I mean, Hollywood is just so into navel gazing. Let's see. JC, PPC ain't winning a single seat, though. Alex Ogle, whatever you do, don't stop clapping or the NKVD will cart you off to the gulag. JC, Clooney peaked in Return of the Killer Tomatoes. Let's see. What else? Angelina Jolie could sing her way to a second Oscar win playing a legendary diva in Pablo Larraín's Maria. So that's the one where she got a standing O. I didn't know she could sing, but good for her. Heartstopper star Kit Connor says filming season 3 sex scenes took about 7 hours. We shot a lot of footage. Oh my god, dude. What the hell were you guys doing? What is this TV show about? What is this TV show about that you shot that many sex scenes? Indie Phantom. It was a stretch having QT and Clooney as bros, but fun, crazy flick. Alex Ogle at JEC. PPC deserves more support, but the political situation in Canada just not that sophisticated. Zevic's demise. She probably can't sing, but auto-tune works great. JEC. Yeah, they're broke from what I hear. What is this Heartstopper thing? I don't even know what this show is. Season 3. Heartstopper. Charlie, a high-strung, openly gay overthinker, and Nick, a cheerful, soft-hearted rugby player. One day, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it's a gay thing. So it's a gay sex scene. Season 3, 7 hours to shoot gay sex scenes. Yeah, not for me. Moving on. Fandom Pulse. This was today's headline. Battletech author Brian Young lectures fans on politics in sci-fi writing, calling them confused if they don't like his extremist positions in books. Battletech has gone far left, and with it, authors like Brian Young are misreading their military sci-fi fan base. Is this a real picture? Is this a real thing, all this trans stuff on a Battletech, or is this just a joke for the article? I don't even know. Battletech has been on a decline for some time, ever since fan favorite author Blaine Pardoe revealed he had been removed from the franchise after relentless psychotic attacks from a stalker and fan who was looking to get clout within Catalyst Game Labs. Much of the onus on these attacks was because Pardoe identified as a conservative. Jesus. Yeah, this is, I think Razorfist was talking about this stuff. He fought the good fight for a while. I don't know, is Battletech still like controlled by the woke, I assume? I don't know why some rich conservative doesn't just roll in and buy one of these RPGs out from under these asshats and just make it super based. I mean, if I had the money, Battletech is a cash cow, man. I'd just roll in and buy the whole damn thing. Ionisys. I heard they're going to make Spaceballs 2. Can you believe it? Yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that. Number one, I'm going to say something very controversial. Spaceballs was merely okay. Now, for me, my money, you can't beat Mel Brooks' Blazing Saddles. You just can't beat it. Young Frankenstein, High Anxiety. Like, compared to those movies, Spaceballs is okay. It's all right. So, yeah, I don't know if we need this. And the problem is, I don't know what you're going to parody. So, John Candy's gone. So you can't bring back John Candy. Although you could recast him, I suppose. But that would be sad. Mel Brooks is really up there. I guess he could play the Yoda parody character. I forget what his name was. I don't know, man. It was okay. I mean, Rick Moranis is great in that movie. And if he's not in it, you might as well just pack it in. Zebek's Demise. Don't know. I still have only my 80s Battletech stuff. Alex Ogle. There's no one even remotely as funny as Rick Moranis to play the villain in Spaceballs 2. However, Sydney Sweeney could play the princess. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. JC, just make your own, but have people use their 3D printers to make the figures. Yeah, that's what I would say too. But I think, why doesn't somebody like conservative just come in and buy one of these games? They're not that expensive. Zebek's Demise, I'm a Blazing Saddles fan myself. Who isn't? The sheriff is ding, dong, ding. What did he say? I think he said the sheriff is near. LeMay, most conservatives don't care about the cultural arts. It's only in medical, law, and the trades. JC, you parody the new Star Wars. Yeah. Will they, though? Will they go after the jugular? I think, who's in it? Josh Gad is going to be in the mix. I don't think he's going to go for the comedy jugular. So I think it's just going to be, it'll be okay. Alex Ogle, I'm glad the media climate of today is as weak as it is. Blazing Saddles will never be adulterated. JC, Yogurt. Oh, yeah, that was his name. Yogurt. That's funny. Yeah, I don't get the Matt Walsh types in the conservatives. This is why the conservatives lose the culture war, ultimately, because they refuse to embrace some of the fun stuff, like Daily Wire. I like them. They're trying to push more conservative stuff. I like that they're doing movies. I like their movies. Their movies were good. The Lady Ballers was funny. I like the movie about the woman trapped in a pantry. That was pretty good. I didn't see the other movie with the school shooting. And, and even Matt Walsh is funny when he does his own shtick. I don't know why they had, like Matt Walsh got up into everybody's grill about anime. No, I say Matt, like you don't like anime. Okay, don't talk about it. Just say, it's not my thing, and then just move on. Just move on. Why you got to make a stand? Why you got to draw a line in the sand and say, anime? Makes no sense. Some of the anime is very based and very funny. Alex Ogle at JEC, use the slots. That is kind of funny. Games Workshop gives they, them pronouns to new Stormcast Eternals miniature Warhammer Age of Sigmar promotional post. See, somebody could have bought Games Workshop, like Elon Musk. A guy like Elon, it can't be Elon. He's got bigger stuff to do, but, a guy who was conservative could bought Warhammer and just turned it into the most based Warhammer ever. It was already based until these idiots got a hold of it. And then this news, IDW Publishing fires publisher Mark Doyle after expensive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics relaunch. Yeah, apparently this is like it's a dud, the relaunch of the Turtles. I did a video basically explaining how I would relaunch IDW and fix it, but I don't know. I don't know how these guys are still in business, quite frankly. I don't know who's buying their comics. I haven't seen a new IDW comic in I don't know how long. I went to their website and did a whole thing. Their digital platform is on the site, and the rating for it is 1.5 out of 5 stars. Why would you put that on your site? It makes no sense. I think they must be part of a bigger plan to make money, and they don't care that they lose money with IDW, but that's my guess. Indie Phantom, I'm mostly with Walsh on anime, but I am a heavy metal guy. My favorite animated flick. Yeah, me too. I like that. And I don't really like a lot of anime. I like Cowboy Bebop. But I don't think he should weigh in on all of anime. It's just a dumb move because all of anime is not nothing. A lot of it is, but that's true in any medium. Most mediums, the vast majority of it is nonsense. It's terrible. The vast majority of TV, movies, films, comic books, video games, everything, the internet, it's nothing. It sucks. But there's a tiny sliver of it that's great. Same thing with anime. Cowboy Bebop, I'll die on this hill, is great. It's not good, it's great. You will never find a better anime than Cowboy Bebop. It would have been an amazing live action show if they had done it right. Alex Ogle, Matt Walsh can't help sticking his nose where it doesn't belong. He has interesting points and belittles ideologues well, but he needs to stop telling ordinary people what he thinks is right. Personally, I hate comics. I was never able to get into them, but I enjoy people talking about them and discussing what they like. Interesting. Ardent, fave anime Trigun. That's okay. Maybe, what is that? Afro Samurai, if you count that. I guess. Zebek's the Mind. Macross is great. Yeah, and some of it's okay. I mean, I like cartoons. You gotta like cartoons. Matt Walsh, he's a dad. He's older. He doesn't like cartoons. I didn't have kids. I still like cartoons. If I had kids and had to work, I'd probably be done with cartoons. But it's he just doesn't win anything by weighing in on something. Number one, I don't think he really knows much about it. And I get why he's doing it. It's funny to own people, but not the weebs. The weebs, these are guys who are struggling to, I think, some of the weebs, they're struggling to find something in their lives. A lot of geeks are, I think. I was that way. You're struggling to find something in your life worth kind of following or championing, and you find something maybe in a comic or a cartoon or whatever, and then to have somebody belittle it doesn't really do you much, or at least if you're going to do it, belittle the right stuff. Belittle the right stuff. There's There's a ton of anime he could have belittled all day long and said, oh, this stuff is degenerate, it's gross, if you're into this, you're a weirdo, you ought to have your head examined. But not all of it. And then there's more on Neil Gaiman at the Fandom Pulse if you want to read more about it. So Neil Gaiman revealed to have paid off 3 of his accusers and made 2 sign NDAs to try to silence them. So, but I'll say this for Gaiman: he hasn't been sued, as far as I know, and he hasn't been criminally charged. So what are you gonna do, LeMay? There are too many One Piece saved my life videos. One Piece is okay. I mean, I saw the first episode. I didn't want to get into the whole, I didn't even want to watch the whole season, but it was pretty good. I mean, it's entertaining. It is what it is, I mean, I like playing games, I like playing carnival games. But, I mean, I know what they are. They're not really teaching me much in the way of skill. They're not going to make me any money. One Piece is pretty good, but it's not going to change your life, I don't think. Star Blazers, that was all right. But there's a lot of things that are okay. Ardent, not enough Ghost in the Shell saved my life videos. Indie Phantom, I'm more of a 2-piece kind of guy. Bikini. All right. There's more stuff on Fandom Pulse. Getting to the Hollywood Reporter. Let's see. Are there more standing ovations? No, but the Hollywood Reporter felt it necessary to cover Ketanji Brown Jackson recalls being scene partners with Matt Damon in Harvard drama class. Interesting. She was at Harvard and Matt Damon was at Harvard at the same time? I didn't know he went to Harvard. Or did he come there to teach a class? It's weird. She's way too young to be on the Supreme Court. I'll say it right now. Ketanji Brown Jackson, way too young to be on the Supreme Court. Ardent, OG G.I. Joe and Transformer cartoons better than anime. I like the maybe the Transformers, I'd give you that. Not G.I. Joe, but Transformers maybe. Transformers were really well written. The early OG Transformers had a great story, I thought. And it really unfolded organically. G.I. Joe, the problem with G.I. Joe is like a shooting and shooting and shooting and no one's dying. It's just so dumb. But it is what it is. Here's the Brutalist. Okay, so everybody's talking about the same movies. Bill Maher, my old boss, mocks CNN for Harris Wall's interview. They wonder why kids get their news from TikTok. Well, I mean, hits it again. I'll say that. He's got TDS badly, but once in a while he says some cool stuff. Alex Ogle, nothing tops Ulysses 31. I don't even know that one. Ardent Party, G.I. Joe at least made the moral lesson blatant enough to get through to the dumb 80s kids. Well, I'll give you that. And the designs were good. I just wish, they just portrayed the gunfire a little more realistically. I mean, I understand they really couldn't, but let's see. This Terminator Zero cartoon's coming out if anybody's interested in that. And Neil Gaiman's other project, Dead Boy Detectives, was canceled after a single season on Netflix. So this may be the fallout from his situation, but it's kind of hard to tell. the timing is sort of like it could go either way, but they are cutting back, and I don't know anybody who was talking about this. So I like that title though, Dead Boy Detectives, but yeah, now that Neil is having problems, I'm like, I don't know. I kind of almost don't want to believe it, but the more I hear, it's like, yeah, that doesn't sound good. Ardent, watch the trailer for T-Zero. No. Oh, really? Not good, huh? Yeah, I mean, the anime doesn't seem to fit the mold. All right, what is this? This is Bounding in the Comics. The trailer for the Christopher Reeves documentary is out. You want to see that? Here's images show the late Mad Max actor Hugh Keen's burn in full Martian Manhunter makeup, if you're interested in that. More Alkalite stuff this week, if you can believe it. Amandla Stenberg claims Star Wars series was the target of hyper-conservative bigotry from the alt-right. Man, she is going down swinging, isn't she? She is not making any friends. Again, this is the wrong way to approach things. You want to say things like, I really wish people had given the show a chance. We tried our best. Maybe the next one. Stuff like that. Humble things that people go, oh, I feel bad even making fun of this person. But instead, you get all confrontational. Everybody's happy your show is canceled that I talk to. Oh, they're happy. They love it. So you just make it worse for yourself by acting the way you do. You know, putting out a diss track against fans. Who the F are you? Who the F are you? I've been watching Star Wars since 1977. And then you come in here and tell me I'm a bigot because I don't like your stupid show? No. You're new here. Hello. You're new. Okay? Shut up. Do your show. Tell me to watch it. That's all you're allowed to do. You do anything beyond that, you turn me off completely. And my bar's pretty low for that crap. I mean, even if she had been a little sort of full of herself, I'd still have the same kind of attitude. I don't need to watch your show, honey. I don't need to watch it. I don't need to watch any show. I come from that era. I will go outside, drink from a hose, and walk in the woods. I'll entertain myself. I'll find some sticks. Yeah, I'll find some sticks, throw them into the river or something. I'll entertain myself. I don't need Star Wars. I lived at a time before the internet, before TV was really, it was there. Don't get me wrong, I watched TV a lot. It was our internet, but my parents would force me outside. I'd entertain myself. Ionicus, just put Star Wars to rest and move on. Yeah, put the dirt over it and call it a day. Alex Ogles, Stenberg may be making herself unemployable, except that she is a visible minority and so might just be enhancing her prospects. I think within the management circles, and the agency circles, they love it. They absolutely love it. But those same people will drop her like a hot rock the moment the winds change. The moment they get the word, none of this stuff flies anymore, they just won't even return her calls. And that probably could happen anyway. So the people who listen to the PR people in Hollywood are stupid. They're just dumber than a box of rocks. Because most of those PR people now are woke as F. They don't know what they're doing. And they're following this ESG nonsense and a bunch of other nonsense right down the rabbit hole. If she had any sense, she'd shut up. But she might as well keep flapping her gums. Maybe she'll get some sort of consolation prize. Ardent, the 12th commandment, thou shalt not be a dick to thine fans. Alex Ogle, Star Wars needs to be like Doctor Who in the 80s and just be stopped for a while. I wish they would do that today. I agree. I mean, Doctor Who's dead. I mean, Doctor Who is really dead. Because as bad as Star Wars, as mad as Star Wars fans are, they did stop it for a time, and people kind of forget here. The attention spans are really short. Oh, I don't think they'll ever forgive Doctor Who. No. That, like, the drop in Doctor Who, at least, I'll say this for the Acolyte, it was almost in the realm of Star Wars. It's terrible, don't get me wrong. It's awful. It looks, every frame of it looked excruciatingly bad. But at least it kind of looked like Star Wars. What's coming out of Doctor Who looks nothing like Doctor Who. I mean, nothing like it. If they replaced the TARDIS with a giant time-traveling dildo, I wouldn't notice the difference at this point. Star Wars, at least they're doing something science fiction-y, one could say. But Doctor Who, what they've done to Doctor Who is unforgivable. So I wouldn't blame the fans in Doctor Who if they never watch Doctor Who again, even if they brought John Pertwee back to life to be Doctor Who. Ardent, Gen X supremacy? Yes, indeed. Alex Ogle, at Ardent. As the joke goes, with Moses coming down from the mountain, I've good news and bad. Good thing is we've got him down to 10. Bad thing is that adultery is still there. That's funny. Good stuff. Good stuff. Sonic the Hedgehog 3's dropping. Keanu Reeves is doing the voice. That's going to be a hit. There's your hit. I don't know when that's coming out, but that's going to be a hit. All right, Deadline. What's going on? Deadline. Talking about box office. Here's The Apprentice making its U.S. debut. I really hope this movie just bombs so badly. That's the thing these guys don't understand. They're still under the old paradigm. These Democrats are still under the old paradigm that, well, we own the media, so we're just going to keep putting things out in the media. But all it's doing is destroying the media. That's all it's doing. So you can keep putting this movie out. You can put out TV shows or whatever. People just don't watch them. They're boring. You can put out another movie bashing Donald Trump. I don't think people are going to watch it. Zach Galifianakis is in that Winner movie. I don't think people are going to watch that either. The hero is a pink-haired girl who thumbs her nose at the government. Yeah, I don't think that's... a pink-haired girl fighting for social justice in the military. Yeah, I don't think that's going to fly. I don't think a lot of people are going to be galloping over to the movie theaters to see that. Alex Ogle, you wait, Tony. Davies will write a new episode where the TARDIS gets in chameleon circuit working and it turns into a giant progress rainbow dildo. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. He might as well. I say go for it. I say accelerationism for Doctor Who. I say hardcore gay sex every episode. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Davies. Push it in everybody's face. Actually have someone's scrotum slapping against the screen. So you could say, yeah, I slapped my audience with my balls. Might as well. It's pretty much what you're doing already. I've never seen people so quick to sell out their own talent. Like, I get it. Sometimes you get offered money and you go, I really need money. But my God, the people who are selling out already have money. Like, they already have tons and tons of money. Like today, I saw, and this really is just, it's kind of heartbreaking on the one hand, but on the other hand, I kind of understand it. One of my favorite comedians of all time is Steve Martin. Now, Steve Martin, for the most part, is retired comedically. He doesn't do stand-up anymore. You know, he does whatever he wants to do. And he has stayed out of politics for a long time, but finally today he cracked. And he posted a tweet for Kamala Harris. Now, in his defense, it was only one tweet. but he stated the same tired argument. Oh, we got to save democracy, which was sad. But at least that's all he did. But I said to him in a reply, do you not understand what unrealized gains tax will do to you? It's only for people whose households are worth $100 million or more. He is worth over $100 million, Steve Martin, in case you don't know. He would 100% get taxed by Kamala Harris as being too rich. See, an unrealized gains is this. If you have a mansion, and Steve Martin certainly lives in a mansion, let's say it's worth $5 million when he bought it. But it's not worth that much today. See, because he probably bought that mansion, I don't know, 10 years ago. Today, it could be worth $10 million. Well, if his mansion is worth $10 million, the difference between the 5 that he purchased and the $10 million that it's worth now is unrealized gains, see, of $5 million. What the tax on unrealized gains means, at the end of the year, Kamala Harris would tax Steve Martin for the $5 million in unrealized gains. He doesn't have the money. He's not selling his house. He could sell his house, and he might get $5 more million than he paid for. But Kamala Harris is saying he should pay the taxes on that money now. And it would be 25%, which would be $1.25 million if you're doing the math. So she would ask of Steve Martin $1.25 million for nothing. He hasn't made that money. He would just have to pay it. Now, if the price of the house by the time he sells it, the mansion, goes down to $5 million again, he's not getting the money back. And when he does sell the house, he has to pay taxes on the money again. So I'm waiting for my response, but I don't expect one. Alex Ogle, ha ha ha, literally teabagging the audience. Yeah, why not? Carter Chain, I zone out for 2 secs. We're slapping what? See, that's how I get you back in, Carter. Indie Phantom, bad movie Martin. Well, he was okay up until he did LA Story, I think. Ardent, LOL, Alex. Steve Martin shouldn't be making any comments about American politics unless he's got a citizenship. As far as I know, he's still Canadian. Oh, that's right. That's right. He's probably a dual citizen. Guess why he's probably a dual citizen? Guess why Paul McCartney's a dual citizen? Guess why every major celebrity's a dual citizen with the United States if they're from someone else? Because they don't want to pay the taxes in their home country. That's why. Yeah. Oh, they hate America, except when it comes to paying taxes. Oh, then they love us. Then they don't want to pay all those taxes. And yet, who are they voting for? Alex Ogle, at Ardent, Martin is American. You're confusing him with the now sadly deceased Leslie Nielsen. Oh, he's not Canadian? I thought maybe he was. Indie Phantom, worst celeb crap coming from Ben Stiller. Nuts. Oh my God, yeah, the Ben Stiller stuff. Let's see. Let me see if Steve Martin... Yeah, this is me looking up Steve Martin's celebrity net worth earlier. Let's see. Where is he from? Where was he from? He was born in Texas. Oh my God, he's a Texan? Jeez, Steve. Ardent. Alex, my bad. Ardent, also, rest in peace, Nielsen. Yeah, Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller, that's another guy. He's got to be worth $100 million. Ben Stiller, net worth. Celebrity net worth, $200 million. Now, again, this isn't particularly accurate, but he's got to be over $100 million. He would be taxed on unrealized gains. His household is worth more than $100 million. He would be taxed on unrealized gains, not just on his house, but everything. So if he has stock and he has to have tens of millions in stock, and that, his portfolio, let's say it's worth, I don't know, $50 million. And at some point during the course of the year, it goes up to 80 million, but it drops back down. Like, that's what stocks does. It goes up and down. But at some point it peaked at 80 million that year. There's $30 million of unrealized gains. He would have to pay 25% on the taxes. That is, how much is that? That's $12 million, I believe. Is it 12? It'd be 0.4 times 3. 30. I think it's, yeah. 25% of 30 would be a quarter of that. It'd be like 7 million. 7.5. Ardent, I just tweeted a clip from the Swamp Fox today. Who's the Swamp Fox? 1.2. So, yeah, just on his stock portfolio. He didn't sell any stock. I'm trying to make this clear. It would just be, 7.5 million. Okay, so 7.5 million. He would pay $7.5 million. He didn't make that money. It would just be taken away from him. How would he even pay it? Like, celebrities worth $200 million. They don't have that in cash. They're not sitting on a giant pile of money. Maybe he is. I don't know. So he'd have to liquidate his stock to pay the taxes on the stock that he didn't make. Alex Ogle, I can't remember a single good movie with Stiller. The parts in Zoolander were funny with with Will Ferrell. Tropic Thunder, he's funny in. And I like him in Zoolander. But it's insane. It's insane that he is voting for Kamala. And not only voting, like what Steve Martin did on Twitter, I can tolerate. Like, okay, he's political and I think he's wrong, but whatever. Ben Stiller, he's out there shilling for Kamala. That indicates to me that both guys just watch the news. They're still in a 1975 paradigm of watching TV and reading newspapers and reading Newsweek and thinking, oh, well, I'm pretty informed. I'm pretty informed about politics. Ardent, Leslie Nielsen played Frances Marion, the Swamp Fox, on Disney's War of Independence era show of the same name. Oh. Ardent, Tropic Thunder, yes. Yeah, one of my younger relatives recently got super red-pilled the other day, and I couldn't be happier. So he was telling me how he discovered the liberal hive mind on YouTube and started watching some of his videos, and now he's watching other videos, and I recommended a few for him to watch, and he sounds completely red-pilled now, and I couldn't be happier. This was a kid who was thinking, he was trying to write an essay at one point about how to redesign capitalism because he became convinced capitalism didn't work. But now he's totally red-pilled, and I love it. Ardent, which they won't show on Disney Plus because Marion was a slave owner. Hooray! Oh, I think you're saying hooray to something else. You're saying hooray to what I said. Liberal hive mind is a good is good stuff. Yes. Yeah, if you haven't seen Liberal Hive Mind, he's pretty good. All right, what else we got? Oh, Rings of Power is coming back. Rings of Power Season 2 that actually has action in it. But not that I care, because I never watched the damn thing. Those first 2 episodes are boring as F. But now, I'll tell you what they're going to do. They're going to spend enough money and they're going to keep Rings of Power on the air long enough that it will validate itself. So by season 3, they'll be making references to 1 and 2, but you won't really remember what happened, but it'll feel like there's a lot of history there. That's the way they'll keep this show rolling, I think. So they got the money, man. Amazon just doesn't care. At some point, they'll pull the plug when they're sick of losing money, I guess, but I mean, here's another article. Kit Connor says Heartstopper took baby steps towards sex scenes. We shot a lot of footage. What the hell is this show? Is it just nothing but gay sex? I don't want to see this. What the F? Oh, man. I clicked the wrong thing. Winona Ryder reveals she lost out on an Eternal Sunshine role due to excessive media attention. Okay. I don't think he missed much on that. Here's the re-release of Shaun of the Dead. Oh, it's been 20 years. That's why they did it. Okay. More on wolves and the various things at Venice. For those of you who are a fan of The Cure, Roger O'Donnell of The Cure has lymphoma. So that's not good. So hopefully he will get better. Ardent shoplifting. Indeed. Over at Bleeding Fool, MCU fans push for Channing Tatum's Gambit in Avengers Secret Wars. As a supporting character, he'd be okay. I'm not sure how they're going to explain him just suddenly popping up, but okay. Sure, why not? I mean, you're going to have to throw the X-Men in. Russell Brand still religious. The religion really kind of saved Russell Brand's career, because I think he was on his way to being seriously Me Too'd. And then suddenly he got religion, and now they just sort of backed off on him. So. Here is Fantastic Four, if you want to see any of this stuff. This is the look of the Fantastic Four. They're showing stuff from the Fantastic Four at the Hollywood Bowl. So, scenes from the movie. Alex Ogle, Ross McFarlane has a superb analysis of why Amazon spent so much money on the hated Ring of Power series. See it here. Okay. I have to check that out. So much to watch. Oh yeah, we heard about this. Garth Ennis is adapting his horror comic Cross to a film. That's going to be messed up. New Transformer comics outselling every single comic in DC. That's pretty amazing. That's from Skybound Entertainment. So that's the one bright spot in the world of comics, is the Transformers from Skybound are doing great. G.I. Joe isn't, but the Transformers are. People love Starscream. They just love him. He's such a great villain. And the voice was epic. Alex Ogle, basically they don't care if no one watched it. It's already encouraged people to sign up for Amazon Prime. Each customer spends on average of $1,400 per year. Huh. Yeah, interesting. I mean, imagine how many more customers they'd get if the show was actually good. But this Cross thing, oh, it's going to be crazy. Over at The Wrap, more about Deadpool, more about Joker 2 coming out. Adam Schiff talking about the hostages in Gaza. If you're interested in that, they killed 6 hostages in Gaza. Not good, including one American. So now they're trying to make big noise that they're gonna, I don't know, invade Israel, I guess, and try to take back Gaza for the Israelis. Look, I have a lot of criticism for, Hamas, and I have criticism for the Likud party in Israel. I think we should stay out of that mess. I think we should stay out of that corner of the world. Let things settle down. I think we should re-elect Trump. He seemed to have it under control. The thought of getting in there, that just sounds horrific. Over at Cosmic Book News, Rachel Zegler Snow White trailer receives massive backlash, 1 million YouTube dislikes. That's funny. Jurassic World Rebirth. I have no interest in this. God. how many times are you going to do this? First look at Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali. So there you go there. Scarlett still looks good. James Gunn debunks the Batman video game rumor. Claimed to be set in the Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson universe. I like the Matt Reeves Batman universe. I don't know about you guys. I think it was good, solid, perfectly adaptable for the rest of it. I don't know why they wouldn't embrace it, but... Oh, this was a big deal, too. House of the Dragon. George R.R. Martin admits things are wrong. Called it. What did I say? What did I say? Everybody's telling me, oh, you gotta watch House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon's good. Oh, no, it's good. It's good. It's a good show. Good show. I'm sure it is. But I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. Welcome to other shoe. Okay? Welcome to other shoe dropping. Ardent, gonna be watching the Batman after this. Oh, you're in for a treat. I thought it was good. House of the Dragon, apparently good up to a point. What happened in Game of Thrones? Super good up to a point. Yeah, I'm not going to get disappointed again. If you can't follow through with your show, I don't know how you make it good and then just suddenly stop and say, you know what? I think we made this show pretty good for a while. Now let's make crap. Really? You want to make crap now? Oh, yeah. I've been waiting to make the crap. You can't make a lot of crap unless you make a lot of good stuff first. And that's hard. Now we can make crap. Now we can feed people crap. That's what I've always wanted to do. Oh, my God. And, of course, the actor who played Jar Jar Binks really supports Amanda Stenberg. So that's good to know. Because you know that Jar Jar Binks guy has a lot of credibility with Star Wars fans. Anyhow. Hellboy, the Crooked Man, unleashes new Jack Kesey poster. So let's end on that. This movie looks good. This movie looks like it's going to be cool. Witness the beginning of all evil. Cool. The 4th installment in the global franchise. Is this the 4th movie? I guess so. See, this is the way you do it. Okay? You switch actors so you're not dependent on one particular actor. Ron Perlman's was decent. I liked Ron Perlman in the role. He was fine. I'm not a big fan of Ron Perlman anymore, but he was okay as Hellboy. But we don't need to tie the character to an actor. Not a character like this. Especially a character like with so much makeup. You know? Like tons and tons of makeup. You can switch them out. Yeah. I mean, if you could switch out Bond, you could switch out Hellboy. Ardent, looks enough like the Ron Perlman Hellboy to be pleased. Yeah. I like the Golden Army, personally. Luke Goss did a great job in that and Blade 2. I don't think I saw that one. I saw Blade 2, but I don't think I saw the Golden Army, or did I? God, can't remember. Alex, so long as they don't cast Perlman again. Yeah, Perlman is too much. See, that to me is a celebrity who's gone cuckoo bananas. Although, I'll say, Michael Rappaport went cuckoo bananas, and now it's like he's trying to win me back. Michael Rappaport kind of took a red pill. He is, well, I can't say he's pro-Trump, but he's certainly not pro the current regime, and that's all I really ask. That's really all I ask of people. I don't tell people, oh, you got to vote for Trump, although sometimes I do. I say, you can't vote for these commies. Ron Perlman looks like he's wearing prosthetics all the time anyway. That's kind of true. I think Rappaport's switch is sincere. It seems to be. I mean, at the end, I don't know if he'll vote for Trump or not, but at least the fact that he's considering it, it's like, okay, he's a normal person again. It's like that finally the TDS has been broken inside him, and now at least you might get a vote. And my theory too is that could be for like Bill Maher, guys like Bill Maher. It's partly an act. He knows he has to stay on that side of the aisle, so that's how he anchors himself. He says, well, I'll just tell everybody I hate Trump, but then I can say anything I want. And then if anybody calls me out, I'll just say, well, I hate Trump. And they'll be like, oh, okay, you're normal. Damn it, I have to listen to you. And then, you know, when you're in the booth, you can vote for whoever you want, so who cares? It's a secret ballot for a reason. But you know what? Oh, that brings me to the thing I definitely wanted to talk about today. So, I don't know if you're familiar with a YouTuber named Ya Boy Zach. Okay? So, Ya Boy Zach made his bones doing videos about comics and talking about SJWs and such and all that sort of culture war stuff. But now he seems to have he's got a new tactic. He doesn't like the YouTubers who talk too much about the culture war stuff, and he's actually turned very much against sort of the Friday Night Tights guys, and he spends a lot of time making fun of them. While at the same time saying that these guys, and even Critical Drinker, and I was kind of shocked that he even mentioned him, but basically saying that these guys spend too much time worrying about the politics in their movies and the movie's quality and whatnot. And interesting video today he did. I don't totally agree with him because I think that Zach is not that much of a movie guy. And he's not that much... Look, and I don't want to say anything to insult him. I'm not trying to insult him. I kind of like him as a YouTuber. As a creator, I don't know if he's there yet. I've never read any of his comics. I've heard the pitches for them. I don't get like, oh, wow, I got to read that vibe from him. But they could be good. I don't know. But like your boy Zach has this idea that the Friday Night Tights guy and Critical Drinker and those guys, they're spending too much time obsessing over the SJW woke stuff. To which I say, I think he's simplifying it a bit. You know, he kind of seems like he's maybe trying to separate himself a little bit from the pack, number one. Number two, he says, I don't want subscribers, I want readers for my book, which I'm all about. I totally respect that. I want that too. You know, I'm not so up for my subscribers as I am for getting my readers. I mean, I do want my subscriber. I mean, my subscriber base is only about 3,500, so his is in the tens of thousands. I would like to get mine above 10,000 is my initial goal. Because they say if you get 10,000, then you have 1,000 people to buy your stuff and you can make a living off of that, blah, blah, blah. So, but the thing is, I think he's overstating his position a little bit. I don't think the Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic and those guys want to be doing a lot of criticism. I mean, I think they see it as fun, number one. And it smacks of a little bit of, it feels like a little jealousy going on because Zach sort of did it first. But, you know, I get what he's saying, though. He does have a point. I do think there is a danger of reveling in too much in the, quote, hate for the bad stuff coming out of Hollywood. But, you know, you got to call it out. I mean, there's a lot of crap coming out of Hollywood. It has nothing to do with being woke. It's just crap. It's just crap. I mean, watch my trailer analysis. I'll call out some crap, but there ain't any politics in it at all. But the politics are an extra step of crap, in my view. And there is a movement in this country, and we're in a very interesting time, man. If this election doesn't go well, yeah, we could be in for some dark times that'll make the last 5 years look like nothing. I mean, really. You think Star Wars is bad now? Imagine 15 Kathleen Kennedys operating all of Disney's projects. I mean, that's what we're headed into, I believe, if we get 4 years of Kamala. Because it's not just about the politics. It's also about the corporate world. The corporate world and politics are way too close in this country right now. Especially at Disney. The Disney people, from what I've seen, are way too close to the Democrats. Like, way too buddy-buddy with them. Because keep in mind, Disney owns ABC. They own The View. Very critical of everything Republican. They have all the wokeness going on in the MCU. Franchises that were making billions of dollars, they've nearly wrecked them. They've destroyed Star Wars. They've destroyed so many things. They're pushing trans stuff into their children's programming. They pushed it in the parks to the point of, I mean, the parks seem to be in trouble, and they're spending more money on it. It's crazy to me. Indy Phantom, worried about your election. Yeah, me too a little bit. The good news is, number one, we've had some fortification or defortification, depending on how you look on it. So several places where they cheated before, they're not going to be able to cheat, or it's going to be very, very tough for them to do it this time. That's number one. Number two, this time, at the same time in 2016 and 2020, Hillary Clinton was 6 points ahead, and Biden was like 7 or 8 points ahead. Harris is technically ahead at like 1 point, which is statistical noise at this point. And really, because everything's skewed so much towards the Democrats, that probably means Trump's up by at least 5. But it's a little tough to tell. Sticks and Hammer says there's way too much noise for him to make any accurate predictions. Indy Phantom, how is The View still a thing? That's an excellent question. Again, it's ABC, and since some of this stuff has become purely political, I think they just keep it on the air because they just want it. They just want something to yell at Trump. They want a group of people who yell at Trump all day. Now, I think after the election, that show may be off the air. I think this may be the last year for The View. I heard a rumor that they were already canceled. But a lot of times the contract needs to finish out. So I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see it in 2025 if Trump gets in. Now, if Trump doesn't get in, which I think is a very low possibility, then sure, they could keep The View if they wanted. But I don't even think they need it. After you get Kamala in, we're in big trouble. But I think we will get Trump. And it's looking that way now. You can't get black-pilled. If you're in the United States, don't get black-pilled. Get active politically. You got to go out there. You got to knock on doors. You got to convince a friend to go vote Trump, and correct some people. I try to correct people. The biggest thing I'm correcting them on is Project 2025. It is not Trump's. That is not Trump's plan. He's denounced it. He has his own plan. It's on its website. Kamala Harris has no policy on her site. You can go to the site. There's no policy page there. Simple as. But you don't have to do too much to tell people that Kamala is not a great candidate. Even the people supporting her admit that. The question is, why do you keep supporting her? Even if you hate Trump, why would you give her the vote? Like, it doesn't make any sense. There are other candidates. Jill Stein is still in the mix. Cornel West is still in the mix. Robert F. Kennedy is still on the ballot in many states. So you can vote for whoever you want in the states. You can write your own damn name in if you want. Alex Ogle, I don't think the problem is American politics. It's financial interest. Politicians don't get paid much, deservedly, and so will do anything to line their pockets. Trump is independently wealthy. That's a huge factor, yes. Part of it is this. Now, there's a new, it's not a totally new theory, but the theory goes something like this. Years ago, they figured out, instead of bribing people, what you have to do is have compromising photos on them, let's say, or some kind of compromising blackmail material so they can instantly destroy your career. Now, in the old days, say like in the 50s and 60s, they would have to get that. You know, they would have to get that and then go to you and like, oh, now we have you. You're being blackmailed. But now, the word is this. They're not going to people who are already elected. What they're doing is they go to people who want to run and they say, would you like to be, let's say, senator? And the person says, oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to need some compromising stuff on you if you want to be senator, or we won't promote you, or, you know, we're not going to promote you. To which they probably go, what? Yeah, we're going to need some compromising photos. And when I mean compromising, I mean think of the worst thing you could do. They want pictures of you doing that. They want pictures that are so devastating, or film or whatever, that if you step out of line, they can destroy you. Like literally send you to jail, no matter who you are, and have you just utterly brutalized for the rest of your life. They want that threat. So that the idea is, you know, when you hear people talking on the internet about who runs the country and the crime, the singular crime that they all commit, and there's certain conspiracy theories around it, and you can call it a conspiracy theory. The idea is, no, they voluntarily do that in order to get into the club so they can be compromised at any time, because they know their life is over if they don't do whatever the regime wants them to do. So that's the theory. Sounds like a pretty good theory. Sounds solid enough. Sounds like a solid system, right? So, you have all this compromising stuff on, let's say, every major politician that's out there, and you could pretty much see the guys who would do that, right? The intelligence community types, because this is what they've done all the time, right? And maybe there's some guys, they were just that way already. They were already perverts and weirdos, and they just got the compromising stuff, and they're sitting on it and go, we already got this guy. But for the ones that don't have that compromise, they go to them and say, listen, if you want to be super powerful, we'll make you powerful, but you have to give us the compromising photo we need. And then some of these guys actually do it. I think there's a handful of these guys. I don't want to say who I think is in it, but I can tell you who's not in it is Trump. Trump's not in it. He didn't need that. He just did it himself. They didn't expect him to win. He didn't expect to win. It was a fluke. So, yeah, I think that's the way the government runs now. It's mafia. It really is mafia tactics. They blackmail everybody so they can, so everybody's on the same level and nobody gets out of line. So all their various schemes, it's fine to have all your various schemes, Nancy Pelosi, as long as you don't get too greedy. Although she's kind of greedy if you ask me. So I don't know what compromising thing they have on Nancy Pelosi or Eric Swalwell or any of these guys, but I think they have something. I think they have something on all of them. And that's why they're so loyal and so determined to and I think some of these people in Hollywood, same deal. Same deal. I think some of them, they're on the verge of success, let's say. And they say, oh, you want this movie? This will make you a big star. Yeah. Okay, you're going to have to give us something compromising. You're going to have to go into this room and do this horrible thing. And we're going to film it, and then we'll always have something on you, and you'll always listen to us. So think about that. I know, right? It's dark. It's dark to think about it, but it makes total sense. It makes 100% sense. And then when you see these guys and they're so friggin' loyal, you think, why are these guys so loyal? Why is this guy destroying his career over this, seemingly? Why is he alienating 50% of the country? He's a famous dude. He's a famous singer or actor or whatever. And yet he's willing to burn the bridge with 50% of the country. Why? Because the only reason he's there is because he already did something so horrible, he has no choice. And he's already worth $100 million, and he can do all this stuff. He can do whatever the hell he wants now, except cross his overlords. So, yeah, I think about that a lot. When I think about Corey Feldman and the things he says about Hollywood, I think about that. But, and then I think about all the talented people who said, no, I'm not going to do that. You people are horrible. And then they, maybe dropped off the face of the earth, right? Their careers went nowhere. Yeah. So, anyhow, that's just my theory. That's a cheery way to end the stream, isn't it? A cheery way. Cha-chai, cha-chai. Yeah, I heard a great theory on a stream last night. Want to hear it? Everything's depressing. But the upside is this. If Trump wins, I think a lot of that system will be shattered. Because I think Trump will go after some of those people. Not for the crimes they're being blackmailed for, although some of them might be exposed later. Probably after they're dead, but maybe some of them. I don't know. So I think we really got to get Trump in. I think these people are ruthless, desperate. I think they'd rather die than lose their power because of the horrible thing they did to get famous or powerful in the first place. So that's why they're so determined, I think. And that's not everybody. But I think that's some of those guys, some of the key components. Ardent, since you're coming to the end, hopefully you won't mind me reminding folks that I have a channel for my game streams on Rumble. Ardent Plays. All right, everybody go to Ardent Plays. Subscribe to him on Rumble. What games are you playing this week, Ardent? Tell us your games. There was a new game out. Razorfist was talking about something called The Hunt or whatever. I don't know. I'm not up on the games. I have my games. I never have time to play them. One of these days. I play a lot of phone games because they're quick. I play a lot of solitaire. Just in spare time kind of thing. When I take the dog out, I'll play solitaire on the WALK. I don't want to say it. She's right there somewhere. Oh, she's asleep again. But yes, I am wrapping things up here. So let's review what we've learned besides my Alex Jonesian theory at the end of the show. We've learned that the box office is insane. Ardent, thank you, sir. Currently running a playthrough of Skyrim. Once that's done, will probably be a classic Commodore Atari game, I think. Oh, neat. So check out Ardent Plays on Rumble. Alex Ogle at Ardent just found and followed. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Alex. There we are. We're networking. We learned that, the box office is an absolute S show. We learned that Venice Film Festival can be measured in standing O's, of course. What else? We learned the same things about Star Wars. I talked a little bit about your boy Zach. Talked about my crazy theories. I'm also don't forget, I have subscribers now, doing subscriber videos. So if you'd like to subscribe, you can. Alex Ogle, we learned that Sydney Sweeney could make a remake of Spaceballs Less Crap. Yeah, let me see. Let me find, here's my Instagram account. I think Sydney Sweeney posted something. Oh, here she is. See, she's on, there she is. Ardent, also don't forget to smash like and share the stream. Thanks for smashing and not crossing the streams. Haha. Yeah, she looks good in that. I don't really like that top on her. It's hard to make out her boobs. But that's okay. That's all right. Yeah, is that the only Sydney Sweeney? I want to see the regular Instagram for Sydney. Yeah, here she is. Her various pictures. See, like that. That's a better outfit on her, I think. And then this was, she called it her thirst trap. This dropped on the New York Post a couple of days ago. Oh my God, is that her dog? What the hell is that? Ardent, she should definitely take that off. Slowly. So, no bikini pictures from her. Oh, here's a bikini. Bikini top, anyway. Oh my God! Look at this picture. What the hell is this? Yeah, no, that's see that starts feeding my conspiracy theory mind right there. That kind of picture. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, this is very Marilyn Monroe kind of shoot in a giant glass. Oh, I like the gloves. That's nice. That's nice. All right, it's good to end the stream on something hot. Um, Ardent, that's not a dog. That's a thirst. That's a thirsty teenager. Whoa, what's this pic? Oh, she's in some kind of mask. Is that from? I guess that's from Madam Web. Ardent, bit of Dita Von Teese too. Yeah, yeah. So, any final thoughts? Drop them. Gonna have to go soon, and see what's outside my house. Got to make one more video. Piney podcast already got posted on YouTube. The news blast is up. Oh my God. Kite? Member for 11 months. Nice. Worth it. That's cool. How did you do that? Is that a thing? I wish I could have done that. I subscribed to James Lindsay. And I've been subscribed to him for a while. How did you do that? Did you have to pay for that? That's pretty cool. Alex Ogles, suffering is love. Well, tell that to the bull who used his logic to prove that love is duty. Ardent, hi Kite. Kite, that's a good final thought, methinks. Ardent, my final thought, rise and rise again until lambs become lions. Storebang is here. Smash like. Oh, Storebang, you were here the whole time. Very quiet. Yeah, a lot of people in the feed tonight. A lot of people in the feed. All right. Well, it's a good one to end on. So maybe we should do this every week. We'll end on Sydney Sweetie. End on Sydney Sweetie's Instagram. And call it a night. Oh, there's a good... here we go. Bikini. That's what we need. All right. Low Bang says Ardent. Kite, there's no free chat like that every month in the same area. You can pay for one of them. Oh, okay. Interesting. Thank you, Piney. What's coming up this week for me? Wednesday, I'm doing an event at United Methodist. Where is it? I'm not sure the name of the place. United Methodist Communities at Pittman Manor. That's at 2 p.m. for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. And then nothing this weekend, although I might get something at the last minute. Then on Monday, I'm going to Baker's Place, another senior living place in Vineland. So that should be fun. If you want to go to either of these, you got to call first because they're senior centers. And sometimes they let outside people in, sometimes they won't. It depends on the place. But you have to get permission. Ardent, later, amigo. See you next week. Nominate ending on Valkyrie 40K next week. All right. I nominate ending on Valkyrie 40K next week. Okay. Also, I'm reviewing more movies now, too. Because now that I got a girlfriend, I have somebody to watch movies with. And she likes to watch movies way more than I do. But she depends on me to pick a good movie. So I usually spend about 40 minutes going through the Netflix offerings. She's like, "Oh my God, you haven't picked a movie yet?" And I'm like, I've got 3. I'm down to 3 possibilities, hon. I got to figure out a good movie. So that's how I got to go see Bone Tomahawk and some of the more recent movies. We watched, though, Daylight Ends. That was not that good. That's usually my go-to if I'm going to pick a movie I've never seen before and I have no knowledge of. I'm probably going to pick a zombie movie because at least there'll be zombies. At least they'll be zombies, you know? Because, if I'm going to see a terrible movie, I at least want to see one scene with a zombie coming up and a dude shooting it in the face. Because that's cool. Zombies are cool. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan, somewhere back there. I want to thank you all for tuning in. You're all very nice. And next week, what's next week? Next week, live stream here on Sunday. Should I see no conflicts? I'm going to be writing the Pineys. Oh gosh, I'm going to be doing a bunch of events this month, but next month I got 28 events now and counting. So it's going to be insane. Ardent, I recommend Meet Joe Black and Lady Hawk as date flicks. I have seen Lady Hawk. It's very good. I haven't seen Meet Joe Black. Kite, oh, my man. She's a lucky lady. Thank you, Kite. I'll tell you said that. Ardent, oh, and Laser Mission and Big Trouble in Little China. Have seen, of course, Big Trouble in Little China. Love it. Laser Mission? No idea what that's about. LeMay says, good night all. Thank you, and have a pleasant tomorrow. Alrighty, and out.